and welcome to another amazing episode of Wrestling with the Bros. This is Big Baby Ben.
Here's Black.
Troy Black, baby.
And tonight we have a very special guest. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself tonight, Kenny?
Well, hello, everybody. I'm the Unplugged Cyberpunk, Kenny Nyne, and I'm Chicago born and raised.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, your career, things like that.
I'm 27 years old. I'm 4 years into my wrestling career, and it's something that I've wanted ever since I was a very little kid. I mean, at 2 years old, my very first match that I ever watched was Foley versus Taker Hell in a Cell.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes, it is.
And what really hammered it home for me was years later actually meeting Mick Foley at Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Met with the
Man.
man, sat and had a conversation with him, got his autograph, and I was like, and a few months later, I started my wrestling career and started training.
Okay.
All right.
Big Baby, why don't you go ahead and shoot the first question, brother?
So I'm just going to go ahead and start out with my favorite question that I like to ask all you wonderful superstars that risk your health for fan entertainment. How does locker room morale affect your mindset?
The locker room has to be easy going for me. Like, I understand there are those guys that are the old guard that I'm supposed to listen to. And I always shake everyone's hand when I'm in a locker room, and I always speak to everyone. I just try to be the most friendly I can be.
Okay.
So have you ever encountered, a locker room that made you feel, I don't want to say unwelcome, because I don't really feel like there's very many of those, but have you ever felt not necessarily at home? Like, you felt
Out of place?
yeah, that's
Out
better.
of sorts.
Well, I did make one faux pas in a locker room early on in my career. It was my second year. I'll never forget this. I made sure that I met up with my trainers first. Unfortunately, I made the error of not introducing myself to who my trainer was conversing with. That was Wildman Beast. And yeah, I made a grave error there. And sure enough, I paid for it later. I definitely paid for it later. That's actually one of my matches on YouTube. And surely enough, the receipt was paid, and my wife, she was my fiance there, but my wife actually helped get me over in that match.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Awesome.
Just not in the way that she probably would have liked.
So, how often would you say when you're getting prepped and prepared for a match, how often would you say you need to train to prepare for that match leading up to it?
Well, I try to make sure that I go to training 3 times a week, and I try to make sure that I stay within my repertoire. I mean, take a look at the greats. Ric Flair wrestled the same match for years, and it usually consists of him taking heat. He does his classic flop. He does either the figure four or he cheats his way out to win.
Yes.
Same match, same formula.
Dirtiest player in the game.
Exactly.
So
Is there
I
any? Go ahead. Oh, sorry, Big Baby.
I kind of have a more of a WWE question that's being asked for the first time on the show. What is your favorite Undertaker WrestleMania match?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. You can't go wrong with Undertaker versus Michaels at 25, but for me personally, it was his match against Ric Flair.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Simply for the fact that when Arn Anderson did his run-in on Taker, everyone knew that when Arn Anderson hits his spine buster, that was the end. That was game over. But in this case, it wasn't. And I think it speaks a lot to the professionals that both Ric Flair and Arn Anderson were to put Taker over in that moment. I mean, it was like a very inflated storyline for 2002 when you think about it. You had David Flair getting assaulted by Taker. You had Ric Flair, you know, refusing to wrestle Taker. So Taker's the heel here, and he goaded Flair into this match and to make it no disqualification on top of that.
It was an amazing match.
Yes, it was. And not only that, most people don't realize Flair had no confidence in himself back then.
No, he did not.
Which is odd considering it's Ric Flair. The man is confidence incarnate.
You keep getting him out.
You keep floating out of the camera.
My fault.
We're like, what's going on with this camera?
Sorry, I'm using a new tripod.
You're all good, man. You're all good. We all.
This was like amazing.
Wrestling gear.
Okay, so when I first started my career, I didn't have a gimmick. And I was just going out generic gear my very first year of wrestling. And I tried going with a dark gothic gimmick. That didn't last long. Because then I tried to change to just using my initials because that was in. And then I was like, okay, I didn't try these two things. Now I got to come up with something original. So I started trying my hand at drawing. And I looked at Mega Man X as an inspiration for my character, my gimmick, and my look. Then I came up with Kenny Nyne because at that point, the last Mega Man game or Mega Man related game was Mighty Number 9.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and Tony Romo was that guy back then.
Yep.
So I was like, yep, Kenny Nyne it is.
All right.
And the logo that you see on my shirt, I drew that myself.
I like that.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, like I still have the original drawing of the logo.
Nice. Yeah, I seen your drawings you sent over to the chat. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. And I legit to the image, like the outfit and everything was just legit. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I always come across the guys in the locker room, like they'll see me drawing and they're like, wow, where did you even look at this? And I'm like, listen, I just worked at it, you know? And when I first started, I was not drawing like what you see in the chat. I worked at it. And then it got to the point where my trainer, Just Amazing, great trainer, great mentor, and KO Kendra were requesting that I draw their gear.
Oh wow.
Nice. Real nice.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm. So a couple of their costumes I drew myself.
Okay. So how long does it take you to like make someone's gear?
So it depends on how complicated it is or what they're looking for. Like it can be anywhere between 5 minutes to 10, 15 minutes, depending on how much of a flow I'm in. And when I'm drawing something for myself, I'll be either at Starbucks or at home for hours, trying to get this perfect, trying to get that perfect to a degree, and even finding where to put the colors a certain place on my gear. So
Okay.
I'm very particular about it after a while.
Okay.
So do you make gear just for yourself, or does?
No, I have some clients. I like sometimes people will actually message me through Instagram or Facebook to design their look.
Nice.
Oh
And
wow.
I charge a pretty consistent rate for the design requests. I only charge $55 a design.
Okay.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for some stuff. So yeah. Yeah, we're just getting started on all this ourselves, and we're kind of getting into the game. And I mean, yeah, I got some clothes and stuff that I picked out to wear and whatnot. But like you said, it just kind of started kind of with generic stuff to get going and whatnot. But if you come out with a good look right away and put on a good show, it's gonna make a good name for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't catch what you said. Yeah, I only hear whispers in the microphone.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
Oh.
no audio.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Technical error. We got a
can you
little
hear us
technical
now?
thing.
Yeah, I
There
can
we
hear you
go.
now.
All right.
okay, good.
That was
good. That was
I don't know
weird.
what-
Yeah,
What?
yeah. The mic and everything was good.
But I said, yeah, I have I have stuff I wear now, but I want something more, ring attire where, something I
Okay.
put on tights.
Okay, yeah, and that's how I started. I literally started wearing tights. Only recently I switched to trunks within the last year and a half.
So I gotta ask, man. I gotta ask a personal question. How does it, you know what I'm saying, man? How do the trunks feel? How does it work, bro? Like, how does the
So
change feel?
it actually felt more freeing, to be honest. I
Mhm.
mean, I liked wearing tights, to be honest, but when I got home and I had to take everything off, it was a pain at times because it clings to you.
Yeah.
But wearing trunks, it was a lot more freeing. I felt like lighter and I could fly around a lot more.
Okay.
Okay.
Can move around in the ring a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
And
He keeps telling me I
honestly,
should get trunks.
No, you need to get that Randy Orton. You need to get that Randy Orton. That's what you need.
honestly, once I started wearing trunks, I feel like I got taken more serious and I got booked more. And people were like, man, this kid's dead serious. He really wants to go somewhere with this.
Okay. So where would you say when you're, this kind of go back to creating your character, would you say your mindset would have to be in a certain place when you're creating your character, or does that affect uh, when creating?
Well, I have to say this inspiration is all around you. Like, I took elements, I started off with, you know, looking at the cyberpunk video games, looking at Mega Man. I mean, I'm a gamer at heart anyway. And then I just started, taking bits and pieces and just making a collaboration of everything to make my character and my persona. And
Okay.
even the glasses I wear out to the ring and give to a kid became part of the character.
Okay.
Okay.
And yes, I took inspiration from Bret Hart, taking the glasses off and giving them to a kid in the audience.
That's awesome.
I like that.
I like it.
hmm
I wish
Because because of that, when I wrestle at Berwyn for LLT, the kids are my biggest audience.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
The kids are
Kids
are always gonna
kids
be
are
a
like the
huge
best
audience.
audience.
Yes.
Kids are definitely the best
Mhm.
audience.
Like just at my last match a couple weeks ago, I wasn't even in gear, and a kid recognized me getting out of my car with my wife. They're like, "Oh, it's Kenny Nyne. It's Kenny Nyne. Can I get a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm happy to oblige." And his dad said, "Thank you." And it's little things like that that make it worthwhile to me. I mean, yeah, the money's nice. Yeah, championships would be nice, but I actually like doing this because I like setting the example and showing that you could chase after your dreams.
Like that attitude.
So when you choose, every wrestler has to choose face or heel. Would you say you feel better being a face or a heel?
I'm a natural babyface. I'm growing up, I've always been a people pleaser, and that's probably been my Achilles heel to this day. And I feel like naturally I'm a babyface. I have a good smile. I like being, adored. If I were to play heel, it would have to take something to make me snap.
Okay.
Do you think you can do a good job doing it being heel?
I tried being heel early in my career. It wasn't good.
It
I'll be
wasn't
honest.
going anywhere. He's like, I
No,
smile too much. I smile
yes,
too much.
I do. Yes, I do. And that is my biggest flaw. And I've been working on it, but I'm still a natural better babyface than a heel.
So what would you say is like your favorite type of matches? Like tag matches, singles, but like, extreme rules. What would you say is your forte?
I've never done an Extreme Rules match. I've done 6-man tags. I've done tags. But I like wrestling singles matches because I want to prove my own merits in the ring. Like, I like testing myself against better wrestlers as I go. And I find myself in a better capacity to do that when I have more time in the ring with against one other person.
Okay. 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 So you don't see yourself being like in a tag team anytime soon?
I mean, I can be in a tag. I like I'm trying to work on being a technical wizard in the ring, like, along the veins of a Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
But I know I got a ways to go, and like I do a lot of film study. Like I've literally spent the past couple of days breaking down my last match, and I can sell like crazy. I can improvise on a dime, and I try to do what I can to make sure that I at least put one of the best matches on the of the night out there.
I like that.
Sure.
So, what would you say is the most expensive part of wrestling?
Travel,
Gas.
travel. My gear, my whole set of gear costs roughly $300.
Okay.
But if I had to travel a good distance, I'm probably spending, especially on more than one day, I'm probably spending at least around the same just to go from place to place.
Right. And out of all the places you have traveled, what has been your favorite place?
So early in my career, I was at a camp with my trainers and a few of us a few people that I train with, and we went to Texas. Got to train with Rodney Max Camp, got to meet Gangrel, got to meet Mark Henry, got to meet Jazz, got to
Wow.
meet Gangrel, got to meet Kevin Sullivan, and I still hold that in high regard. And even though there were things that I took from it, I apply everything that I learned that day to this very day.
So
I'm saying, you ain't gotta say any names or any, you know, organizations, but can you recall your worst match and your worst memories in that match and what they were?
Honestly, my worst match was my very first match. I had only been training for a month,
Okay.
but my trainers believed that I was ready to debut. Still had no character. I didn't even have a name yet. I did a run in, and the worst thing I did was I didn't sell.
Oh,
Never learned how.
oh no.
So so that was my worst match. And so ever since then, I've been studying Ric Flair on how to sell, and because Flair was known as the biggest squealer.
Told you. Yeah. Told you.
yep.
Bloody Ric Flair.
So I seen that you told me that you've wrestled for Honor Among Wrestling, HAW.
Yes.
What would you say? I mean, was your favorite part of doing wrestling for HAW?
It was the camaraderie back there. I have the utmost respect for everyone in that locker room, especially Mateo. And I even designed a piece of gear for Mateo as well.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
that blue and green plaid combo. I drew it.
Oh, okay.
That's
Nice.
Oh, man, that's dope.
Nice.
And I definitely want to run it back with Theseus again. I mean,
Shit.
Xavier and
Oh.
Theseus.
Xavier Sky and I, we trained together early on in our careers, and I definitely want to run one with A and B.
Okay.
Oh, my
What's your
lord.
current
Yeah.
What's your
Wow.
current thoughts about A and B finally getting the main championship?
Totally deserves it. Totally deserves it. I met him for the very first time when I debuted for Honor Among Wrestling,
Okay.
and honestly, I hit it off with him pretty nicely. I was like, man, I can get you a very iconic look because I almost go nowhere without my drawing pad. I even go to work with my drawing pad.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
So, and if you're like a very close friend of mine in the business, I won't charge you.
Okay.
So that's how like, because at the end of the day, if I design it and you go somewhere, that's exposure.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but did I hear that there could be a possibility of maybe Kenny versus DCS versus A and B match? I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it would.
I
Heck
think
yeah,
that
it
would
would.
Yeah, I mean, I still owe Theseus one.
Oh.
You know, Theseus,
That Greek god's gonna take you out, man.
He had to cheat to beat me last time.
Oh.
Hey, that's what heels are all about, right?
Yeah,
He's a pretty dirty
He
guy.
is dirty too.
yeah. But
Definitely live that.
Yeah,
That would
definitely.
definitely be live.
We do the live events. When we go to the events, we do live footage and stuff, recording everything. Like that's what we do.
Instagram post all.
Yeah, if you go down through my Facebook on my Facebook, you can see the live footage from the last show and stuff. It was
okay.
definitely a hell of a show.
We definitely love to see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
and Rock Island's not that far from me. It don't take me long to get out there at all.
Nope. Nope. So hey, you need to hit them up and say, hey, get me booked.
Yeah, I'm more kinder than that, but yeah, for sure.
now, is there a match type that you wish you could compete in? Is there a dream match?
If there's any match I could compete in, it's definitely I want to compete in. Is definitely a submission match.
Okay.
Okay.
Does you have
It-
you ever picked out an opponent for that match?
Well, Xavier Sky, I never seen him use a submission hold in any match. We both came up flying.
Xavier Sky.
Yep,
Xavier Sky. Okay.
yep. And I want to see what I could do to keep him grounded, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh,
That would
okay.
be, that would be interesting.
So Sky is a good ending to his name.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. I like this. I like where this is going.
So I have to ask this because I ask every wrestler. What's your thoughts on the tribal chief Roman Reigns?
Well, honestly, Roman Reigns is one of the best guys that I've ever seen, put in the work that he does. To come back from cancer, to come back and actually, reinvent himself twice now. Because everyone just saw him as, oh, they're just pushing him to the top. He has no merit. He's just The Rock's cousin. I don't believe it. There's always going to be nepotism in wrestling. Let's cut that. Let's cut that out of the way. But at the end of the day, nepotism only goes so far.
Yep.
I mean, think about it. You have Bret Hart and his entire family. Why was the Bret the only one that was world champion?
It's true.
Oh, yeah. That
Then
is
you got
true.
Flair. Then you got Flair. David wasn't good in the ring like that. But look what his sister is doing. And one of my regrets is I wish I could have seen what Reed was capable of.
Huh?
I mean, so my thing is you could have a name, you could be related, you could be married to, but at the end of the day, it all depends on you.
Facts.
I see you're a big Flair fan.
Woo!
Big Flair fan.
Well, I guess it's because I'm planning to move to Charlotte soon.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. There we go. There we go.
Yeah,
All right.
my wife and I, we're planning to move to Charlotte.
All
Okay.
right. All right. Big wrestling scene out there.
Yes, there is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Big wrestling scenes out there. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I see that. Okay, I can see you out there. I can see you out there doing your thing, especially in Charlotte. There's tons of opportunities, man. Tons of opportunities. And with
And
you
that's
doing designs for what you do and the way you do them, yeah, you're definitely gonna make a name for yourself. Definitely gonna make a mark.
Oh yeah.
See that because I definitely want some design. I definitely
Same.
want some design. So we're definitely gonna be in touch about that.
all
Yep.
right.
Ha-
Definitely need some design.
have you ever suffered an injury? And if so, how hard was it to come back from?
Okay, so this actually happened to me last month. Last month, I wrestled in the Three Rings of Doom tag tournament, the Doom Cup. In my match, I got dropped on my head.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit. Mm.
Yeah, the footage is kind of nasty. I'll be honest with you. First thing was I got help to my feet, and first thing I was thinking, like, did I break my neck? Surprisingly, I didn't. Next
Good.
thing
Good.
was I did. Next thing was I did have a headache because I landed directly on the top of my head,
Mm.
and the other part was I bit a hole in my tongue.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ow.
So yeah, that wasn't fun. But the reason I say that was the worst injury I ever took, I had to take a month off. And when I came back, I did a small time show for my home company, and I was cautious because you get hit hard in the head once, you're not as anxious, you're not as willing to go and do whatever.
Yeah.
So I was
Right.
a little gun shy, but once I caught a rhythm, I was back to business as usual.
Okay.
And I just saw a chiropractor 2 days ago, and well, I'm actually, for the most part, my spine is fine, but there's almost no curve in my neck, and the neck is supposed to curve at 45 degrees. Mine curves at 13 degrees.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Jeez.
And turns out that my my neck is tilted along with my pelvis to the left.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
Well, I mean
So
that's almost that'll happen. I
Yeah.
see that being a little common, but the neck.
Oh, there's that 10-minute buzzer, gentlemen.
Oh man.
so yeah.
So hold on, you mean to tell me you didn't label that as your worst match?
Nah, because for the most part, me and my tag partner, we finally had things going together. We worked on tag team maneuvers all week for that match.
Okay.
Like
Oh.
even a combination submission hold.
Okay. Okay.
So, but of course, half of the stuff that you may be planning to go over with, you won't use all of it in a match. So
Yeah,
it's good
that's
to have
very fair.
things. Yep. So it's good to have things in your back pocket, to use for another show or use whenever.
So when you go and get to the opponent, would you say that you have to train with that opponent leading up to it, or you can just go in there and just, wing it?
Well, it depends on who it is and how long they've been doing this, because I try to adapt to everybody.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Is
So
there a
what?
Because
move? Go ahead, Billy.
Is there? Oh, I was to say, what's your thoughts on this Fastlane card this weekend?
I actually like where it's going so far. Jay Uso and Cody Rhodes, that's actually that actually might produce something unexpected.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying that I'm calling a turn or anything, but at the end of the day, I don't see them winning the titles or anything like that, but it's definitely gonna be a match that may steal the show. But with Johnny Gargano returning Monday night, that was
DIY.
Yep, DIY.
Yeah, DIY is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the smiles on their faces, both of them.
Yep, and I actually use Gargano's gear as the basis for my drawings.
Okay.
All
Like
right.
the trunk, the vest, the wristbands, knee pads, kick pads. I use that setup as the base for my gear.
Okay.
And is there a when you were thinking of your finisher, how long did it take for you to design that move?
So the Eclipse, I figured it was an easier finisher because everyone's like, wow, this kid can really jump out of the ring. And I was trying to say, yeah, let me do something off the top rope. Because at first I was just going to use a spinning neck breaker, like a
Okay.
double underhook spinning neck breaker. And I was like, well, it's decent to look at, but I can't do that with everybody. So that's why I ended up using the Eclipse as my finisher, because it's a move I could do on everybody, no matter the size or weight.
Okay.
So so you can execute it perfectly every time on the spot, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. How long did it take you to do that?
So at first I practiced it with my training partners, and I was doing it off the second rope, as part of a setup, a routine.
Mhm.
And once I realized I could jump high, once I realized that, okay, I could set this up to do it off the top rope now, I was like, okay, because it was all about getting the rotation and being able to have the reflex to catch their head as I'm coming down.
Okay, I like that. I like the move too.
Yeah.
The move too. And what it just took you like what a couple weeks, a couple months, just get it down,
Yeah,
a couple days,
it took me a couple of weeks.
couple weeks. Okay, that's about that. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And if you can hit it on the spot like you do every time, I mean, shit, that was a good couple of weeks of training.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good couple of weeks of training.
It's kind of like the RKO. It's just out of nowhere.
Yep.
No way.
So what's the plan for the future? What do you plan to see from you in the future?
Hey, I'm just trying to, get myself out there even more. I'm just trying to push and push until I hit where I'm going.
If you're gonna go to like one of the big brands, one of the big names, which brand would it be?
Honestly, I would like to go to Impact.
Okay, I can see
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I
Woo,
can see that.
yeah.
I mean,
definitely
I met Johnny Bravo, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there. I mean, if I have to go through OVW, their farm system, I'm willing to do that. If I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
I like that. I like that. That was damn good.
Big motivation.
Respect.
You got more questions,
So,
No, I think. Go ahead, Ben.
you
Go
know,
ahead.
okay. So how do you stay motivated when things are down in this business? To all the young talent.
So I always keep my head up because I realize it's more than just me. It takes. I'm a firm believer if it takes a village, and I live my life by the principle: nothing worth having comes easy.
That's a fact. That is true.
That's easy. That yeah.
I mean, I even told that was the very first thing I told my wife when we started dating.
Okay,
So
that's
what's their
real.
home gym?
And 3 years later, we ended up married.
Oh. So what's their home gym? Where are you based out of training?
So I train with True Privilege Wrestling under Just Amazing and KO Kendra.
Okay.
How
All
long
right.
did you do that?
And I've been with them since day one. I've trained with them since the end of 2019.
Okay.
You got a strong team over there. Got some good chemistry going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. And now you're about to move to Charlotte. Have you picked out any gyms up there?
No, I haven't because I'm focused on, making sure everything is situated with my wife and I. My wife is a school teacher, so I'm trying to make sure she can transfer her career over there.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I work a regular 9 to 5. I'm a UPS worker. I use that to keep me in shape in addition to working out and doing my wrestling training.
Okay.
That's crazy.
All
You
right.
see, like your UPS worker be like,
Yeah.
Kenny Nyne.
I'm a pest control specialist, but I want to be a wrestler.
Like, yeah, little do you know, yeah, this man could do more than deliver packages, bro. Yeah, delivering an ass whooping too.
He needs to hop over something, no problem.
So we moving into that part of the show where we're gonna give our honorable mentions. Troy Black.
Say my honorable mentions go out to like Kenny Nyne. This was like this is dope. Billy was talking to me about you for a while. Like, yeah, man, we definitely showing me pictures, showing me clips. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay. He designs his own stuff, and like now I can literally look at one of your designs, like on your shirt, like, yeah, this man is the real deal. I definitely want his designs. I love that. I love that. So we would definitely. So my honorable mention goes out to you, man.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks. I appreciate it.
I'd have to say, I was a little nervous coming into tonight because I've never officially met you in person. A lot of the wrestlers that I brought on here, I've met them first and kind of talked to them, but I feel it was a great episode. So definitely my shout out, my honorable mention goes to you tonight, man. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you at an HAW show for sure.
For sure, man.
My honorable mention's gonna have to go to Kenny Nyne also. Man, you got big things in front of you, man. You are so motivated, so positive, and just so happy to be in the business. And you just love doing it. You do it for the kids, you do it for the fans, and that's what it's all about, man. You're a real dude designing gear. And man, you got it going on, man. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, man. It was an honor to have you on the show.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Yes.
Well, I'm Big Baby Ben.
Judas Black.
Troy Black, baby.
And you're welcome back anytime on the show, Kenny. And this has been another amazing episode of Wrestling with Bros.
All right, sure thing. See you guys later.